Hello again and welcome to DanWhiteBooks, the book review channel where we add insight into the worlds of literature, both for those who do read and those who don't. Today I'll be reviewing a very popular book of yesteryear that comes under my favourite genre, and that is science fiction. Today we'll be reviewing Recursion by Blake Crouch. I'd like to start by saying I'm a massive fan of science fiction, particularly the kind that takes place on planet Earth. Recursion ticks both of these boxes, with the story featuring fictional technology in a present to modern day setting. Having seen this book pop up all over the place, and after reading a rather intriguing blurb, it was time to get stuck in. However, the journey from start to finish was by no means smooth. Recursion features three main distinctive characters, although the bulk of the tale focuses primarily on a detective named Barry and a scientist called Helena. The narrative transitions between these two characters throughout different points in time that get further varied the more you read on. The main premise of the book is on memory, and exactly what that word means and the implications behind it. At first, this subject is addressed in a rather simplistic manner, and this feels severely lacking. Throughout the first third of the book, author Blake Crouch lays the foundations for what is an incredibly interesting science fiction concept. A mysterious syndrome known as FMS, false memory syndrome, is springing up all over America. To define this infliction, FMS occurs when an individual wakes up with a set of memories that are false. People are seen waking up to lives that don't exist. In one case, a woman awakes with a false memory where she was a mother with a daughter and a husband. The pain of this life not existing despite being in her head drives her to suicide. I want you to imagine this, that one day you wake up and realize you have two sets of memories. Your current existence is gone and lives only in your head by memory, while your new existence is your present. Essentially, you have two different lives in your head, however, only one matches with the reality around you. Imagine you got that dream job, imagine you didn't break up with the love of your life. One day you wake up and have two different paths in life you have lived. However, only one corresponds to the world around you. I'm sure now you can understand the pain. Your memories are real, but the life around you is partly false, hence the name false memory syndrome. There's no denying this is a brilliant concept, but unfortunately I felt it was severely underdeveloped through the first part of the book. The characters were meh, the plot driving the tale was okay, a little underwhelming, and I was very disappointed. The midpoint approached and I was tired with the naivety shown by most of the opposing characters. You're introduced to an immense technology that has severe implications and huge potential for abuse, yet most of the people in the book are acting like infants and taking the whole thing too casually. It's just a muddle that feels like such a letdown, but then things change. And you start to realize that the previous pages were laying the groundwork for something quite spectacular. The concept is developed further and further beyond what I can detail in this review, and our two central characters are left in a massive, brain-splitting dilemma that even now I can't stop thinking about. This final third of the book raises many questions and philosophical ideas on the perception of reality and memory. It takes a well-known concept of reliving a life, but flips it entirely on its head and gets you emotionally and uncomfortably attached to the two main protagonists. The book becomes a tragedy of a beautifully expressed nature that has you heartbroken, and Blake Crouch does a spectacular job at conveying the emotion of decades in time with only a few pages. In honesty, this book told in its entirety could span 1,000 pages, but it is condensed in a manner that is fast-paced, electric and exhilarating. The later parts of this book have you riding the roller coaster down the steepest of descent, and it doesn't stop, one after the other, until all hope is lost. Or is it truly? To find out that answer, I would certainly recommend you pick up this book yourself. And if you are struggling when reading it, I would advise you to stick it out, especially if you're a fan of science fiction pieces, because this is one of the best modern works in the genre I have ever read, and I'm sure it will stay with me for some time. So with that in mind, I would rate this book a very high 9 out of 10, and would, again, recommend you read it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like if you enjoyed it, please dislike if you didn't, and let's start a discussion if you'd like. Tell me your thoughts on this very book. Was it as good to you as it was to me? Did you get sick of it? Did it not redeem itself? I felt at the start it wasn't so good, but towards the end it was brilliant. I mean, not even towards the end, it was just the second half. That's where the implications of this technology are fully realized, and we get to see what that can mean for the fate of people and humanity in general. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you here again soon. Bye bye.